Ah, the day is finally here. We're gonna get rid of this bucket, or at least the contents of it. These are all zinc wheel weights. I've sorted them. Most of them just say ZN for zinc. Some have ZT and ZK on them, and I'm pretty sure those are also zinc. Some have some other markings on them, like MC, ZN. I'm pretty sure these are still all zinc because I've looked up MC but I couldn't find it. And correct me if I'm wrong, but they should all be zinc. I also have a bundle of others that were in there. These have ZA on them and ZK. And ZA I'm actually pretty sure is a zinc aluminum alloy. And this one I'm even more sure about. Come here. This says ZNAL. So this is a zinc aluminum combination, which I want to try to keep out of the mixture, of course, because I want to try to keep my metals as pure as possible. And then there's this one, which is iron, which you can kind of tell by the fact that it's rusted brownish orangey. And you can clearly tell by weight, because this is 45 grams. And if you get a where do I have it? Well, this is 40 grams, and it's quite a lot bigger actually. So you can kind of judge by size and weight if it's heavier or lighter metal. And iron is heavier than zinc. That's why these little iron clasps or connection rings or whatever, they sink to the bottom, so I have to fish them out. They zinc in the zinc. So those go in there. Wait, there's a zinc one that goes in there. This goes in here, and this is a zinc aluminum. I'm not sure, maybe I'll toss these all in a pot and melt them all together at some point, except for the iron ones, because you need like 1400 something degrees for that. So got my newly used crucible from yesterday. This was red at the beginning of the last video. Gave it a bit of a wire brush to get all the crap off. And there's a little sink left, so I'm gonna fill this up. And meanwhile, this has gone completely out, I think. These new fire starter cubes are crap. Well, they were 99 cents a pack, but yeah. I'll light that up, fill this up, and get back to you in a bit. So this is all filled up, and this will probably end up being slightly more than half of the crucible. And when I fish out all of the iron bits and all the crap, then I probably have less than half left, and then I'll fill it up some more until I have like 2/3 filled, because I am going to make some proper ingot looking things by using this for zinc. And if I have a bit left, I'm gonna make some zinc Twinkies, zinkies. This is the one I used for copper, which got quite well, yeah, burned. But yeah, they all look somewhat used. These are actually very strong tins. I am pretty happy with these. I bought them in a lot of a couple of different ones. They're by Wilton. Not making any commercial for them, but these are pretty good for melting purposes. I'm not sure how they are for actual cooking, but yeah, they are thick steel, so very good. And yesterday I dropped one of the wheel weights in the furnace, and I actually found it, or at least what's left of it. So let's put that in there somewhere. Go there. And this seems to be going, So I'll give that a bit to turn completely orange, and add some more briquettes, and then place in the crucible, and then wait until it melts. So, be back in a bit. So that seems to be going nicely. Nice orangey hot. Gonna let it go for a bit like this, and then take the lid off, because it doesn't have to be that big of a fire. I got this little platform from a it's a post from a lamp, and apparently there was, like, I don't know, concrete or something in there. It's pretty heavy, and this is a nice platform to place the crucible on. It's completely flat, apart from the little hole in the middle, but that's okay. The bottom is actually metal, and yeah, I kind of like it. So something else I found. I'm kind of like the cable guy. I come to people's houses and I connect their television and internet and stuff. And sometimes they have really old connection boxes like these that have to be thrown away and replaced by newer stuff. I figured these are not magnetic, maybe they're aluminium. And then I took one apart, and judging by the weight and by the color and how fast it melted, I actually thought, hey, this must be zinc. So I have, like, I don't know, maybe a banana box full of these. And I'm gonna go and take all the screws off, take this little piece of metal off, and in the back this is iron. You can take this off, and there's a little circuit board in there that you can basically just screw loose and break out, and then give this thing a whack with a hammer, and it comes out, and then you have quite a nice piece of zinc. And I have, like, yeah, like I said, maybe 100, no, probably not, maybe 50 of these. And yeah, I'm gonna be taking those apart and melting them into probably some more of those nice cake ingots. But that's for another time. I'm sticking with the wheel weights for now. So yeah, when these are all taken apart, maybe I'll make a video about that. For now, I think I'm going to take the lid off and see if things start to melt. Be back in a bit. So a couple of minutes in, it's already sank to 2/3 of the crucible, I think, maybe 3/4, and it will sink further. When everything is molten, I'm gonna add more weights. And when it's molten, I'm probably turning off the hair dryer, because it won't be needed anymore. Dang, this is really hot. Ash is landing on my phone. But yeah, you'll get the idea. See you when I go and pour some stuff. So yes, a nice pile of melty zinc. There's a lot of crap floating on top. It's the powder coat that came off, and all the iron bits, but underneath there's some nice looking zinc. I turned off the hair dryer because this should stay liquid like this, and I'm gonna add one more layer up until the top, and when that's melted, then I'm going to pour. So there we go. Oh, that is hot. Be it big ones or small ones, doesn't matter. Zinc is zinc. Hope I don't drop any of them this time. Some are really shiny, some are incredibly dirty. Some have like this white coating, others have gray or even black coating, probably depending on the color of the rims of the car that they are used on. Yeah, at this rate it's going to take some time before I go through all of them. Might even not be able to do them all today. Oh, great. Let's see if I can fish those out quickly. Not with my bare hands. Well, anyway, I'll just go fill up the crucible to the top and melt the rest of it. So that looks all molten. Let's get that out. Oh, heavy, heavy, heavy. There we go. Well, let's go fishing. Hope this is all nicely molten. Looks like it though. It's going to be a lot of slag. We'll probably be remelting some of it at some point. It's mostly going to be the iron bits that come out. Seems like little bits of charcoal or something. It's just a blackened bits of iron. All the way to the bottom. This is gonna be a big slag pile. Maybe I'll just speed this bit up. Got some video editing software that I got for free. Not illegally, was like some free software package. Any suggestions on good video editing software for YouTube clips? Let me know. Probably taking like half the zinc out with it, but what has to be done has to be done. I'm gonna end up with less than half of a pot. Probably just add more weights. This is a pain to get out. How about I just pause this and start fishing? I'll see you when it's all cleaned up. Okay, so I got the big pliers to lift and pour the crucible. It's all nicely molten. I turned on the hairdryer for a bit to get a little extra fluidness into the metal, and I found this thing. Maybe I'll make a zinc fish too. I have a lead fish, I have an aluminum fish, but not yet a zinc fish. So I will place that with the molds, and I will heat this thing up just a little bit. So yeah, there we go. Give that about I don't know, a minute, and then I'll pour. And again, unfortunately, I cannot pour this and film at the same time, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it. I'll show you the results in a bit. So just poured 3 of those Twinkies and one nice big cake. I wonder how this will react, because the anti-stick layer has not gone off on this side. Didn't fill it up completely because yeah, then it would get too big, I think. These bars are usually wider than they are high, so nice shiny surface. A couple of bubbles came up, I popped them, and these look nice as well. This tray hasn't been preheated, so hope these don't cave in too much. But let's just give this a minute to dry or solidify or freeze, whatever, and then pop them in the bucket. Okay, I think the Twinkies have solidified. The cake is still kind of wobbly. Not really sure. I'm gonna give that a minute or so. Let's see if this will come out now. This stuff is quite heavy. I got the second batch in the crucible now, so oh, look at that. Got the second batch in the crucible in the furnace, so hopefully they will be slightly melted when this is all done here, and then I can make the fish, because I want a zinc fish for reasons. Yeah, where's my tongs? And there we go. Let's have a look, see. These come out really nice. And wow. Zinc comes out a lot shinier than aluminum does, unless you like brush it. But yeah. All right. There we go. Let's see. Not completely smooth, probably because of anti-stick layer. Not sure. Ooh, don't drop the phone, don't drop the phone. Yeah, but looking nice. This side is nicely smooth. So there we go. One. I like these. These are also quite easy to remelt. And if you've seen my copper smelting video with the electric furnace, the crucible for that is pretty small, but these actually go in there pretty well. So easy for remelting. I will not be using the electric forge or furnace for melting anything other than copper or maybe brass. Certainly not for lead and zinc, because well, yeah, that melts if you blow on it for too long. But yeah, aluminum also. That's what the big king of random forge is for. Yeah, so yeah, 3. Still quite hot. This should be all wobbledy out. No more wobbly. All right. This is turned nicely golden again. Let's see if this will come out. And it did. You can see the splatter pattern of how it was poured. Hope I can get this in my tongs. This is quite heavy. Come here. I'm not gonna touch it, not even with my gloves. Come on. Ooh. Okay, big boilie. Not as much as the aluminum, of course, or the copper. Yeah, let's leave this in here for a bit. Ooh, now the water's turned all nice and warm. Found that rotating it like this helps. Yes. Okay, there we have it. A nice ingot-like block cake. And it hasn't caved in as much as the last one did I made. The last zinc one, at least. I used the little connection boxes I showed earlier to make one. And that came out just as shiny as this. Maybe even slightly smoother. But it caved in quite a bit. Probably because I didn't preheat the mold. But yeah, these are very nice looking. I just stacked them up in my little warehouse. Big Stack is going to be jealous of me at some point. Probably not. So yeah, that's first crucible. I'm gonna go and do this whole lot again and maybe show you what I made later. Alright, second pour. Got one cake and one Twinkie and the little drop that was left, which will be remelted. Again, this tray wasn't preheated, this one was, so let's see what comes out. And yes, a zinc fish, and I wonder if I throw it in the water if it will sink. Well, probably. And now we wait again. Well, my battery was almost dead, so I'm gonna wait a bit more and show you when I throw them in the water. Okay, let's see if the fish will swim. But first, we'll start with this thing. Oh, a little drop. Ah, very nice. And again, I forgot my tongs. There we go. I got the third batch in the furnace. Probably the last batch for today. Ooh. Yay, more quenching. Now let's see about the fish. If anyone remembered the last video, I put a steel ring on because the copper one got lost, and I found it while watching one of my other videos. See, this turned completely black again. See if the copper will come back. And it fell out. So yeah, now this is starting to resemble copper again. let's have a look here. Nice warm water. Yes, come on, focus. 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 Oh, there. Well, this goes next to here. Let's have a look at the fish. Yay, a zinc fish. So now I have a lead fish, a zinc fish and a aluminum fish. I will probably not be making a copper one because I think the mold is made of copper and that's bound to go wrong. So yeah, another fish. This is what we have so far. Little purling droplets of water. I think this is solidified. Let's have a look. Oh, I'm gonna use the glove hand for this. Oh, a nice imprint on the floor. And there we go. Oh, this looks much nicer than the previous one. No, no touchy. Yes, this is very not handy. How about I really quickly pick it up? 1, 2, 3, go. Well, can't see much in there, but apparently it was hot. And my glove looks somewhat burned by now. Well, this is leather and it's turning really hard because of all the heat. Right. Oh, now it's nice and warm. Oh, this looks very nice. And it is still very hot. Can kind of see where I gripped it with my glove. Little leaf. Oh, I'll brush that off anyway. So this one looks incredibly well. Few little dimples. But yeah. go with the rest. There we go. 2 big ingots, a couple of Twinkies, and the fish. Fish is very important. Alright, I'm gonna go and see what else I can get going. Might or might not film it, but this was a good day. See you on the next one. Alright, well, one more. Decided just to do the Twinkies or Zinkies, and I got 6.5. And I actually noticed an iron clasp falling into one of them, and I was able to fish it out before it started solidifying, so hopefully that will solidify nicely. These all look pretty good, so I'm gonna give this a bit and then toss them in the water. By the way, got some clean water because, well, the bucket got all clouded. Been using the same water for I don't know, a couple of weeks now. Why toss it and put in new if you can reuse it? But yeah, gives for a nicer effect, I guess. So I'm gonna let these go, and I'll be back in a bit. So at the end of the bucket, completely empty. Slag tray, completely full. Now, there's probably quite a bit of good zinc in there. I don't actually feel like taking this whole thing apart because, oh well, this part broke off. Because it's one piece, basically, aside from some smaller chunks. But if you look at the bottom here, this still looks like some good zinc. Maybe I'll get one of my old big fire extinguishers and use that as the crucible and just toss in some chunks and see if I can, I don't know, get a couple of droplets out of this. Not today, however, because it is kind of getting dark. It gets dark earlier and earlier every day. And I'll let this burn up. And let's have a look at the Twinkies. They should have solidified nicely. Aside from this one is still shiny. There's quite a bit of heat still coming from it. So let's see. This corner is touchable. Don't want to toss them out too early. Just, I don't know. I could just put the whole tin in the water like I used to do, but yeah, I guess I'm just gonna see if they fall out. There we go. Seems all solid. I'm going to have to run a magnet by them to see if none of the iron bits got in there. I noticed there was an iron bit in one of the muffins that I poured in one of my earlier experiments. Let's see if this will come out. Alright. Oh, there you go. Oh, and some bubbles have formed. There. Was that it? That was it. So this one, focus, there we go. This one got a bubble. Where's my tongs? Tongs. Yes, focus on this thing. There we go. These seem all nice. Little trash from the floor. All right. Little one come here. There we go. Yes. Toss them all in. It's already squealing. No, don't put me in. Come here up. Oh, this got some bubbling in there. Okay, so a bunch of zinkies. Oh wow, water. It's hot at the top and cold at the bottom. So one of the main reasons I like these is you can easily stack them up. Let's get this half one off here. Let's make a tower. It's like playing Jenga. Come on, focus. Little hole, but no matter. These are for remelting at some day anyway. Although for some reason I want them to look nice, because yeah, looks cool, I guess. Stack them up, stack them up. Oh, this is a bubble. It happens, I guess. Bubble at the bottom. Oh well. There we go. Okay, something really weird is flying over. It's above the clouds, I think. Can't see anything. It's an Apache, I think. All the way over there. Yeah, there's an Air Force base not too far from here. So, yes. This was a good day. Lots of zinc. And I'm not going to be doing wheel weights for some time, because now I have enough zinc. I'm gonna move on to copper and brass maybe. And when I get a big pile of cans, I'll go back to the aluminum. So yeah, this was a good day. I had fun. I'll put this in my little warehouse. Maybe I'll make a little clip of that later, and then add it here. Well, see you on the next one, I guess.